What's up, YouTubers? So before we get started with this video, on Get Up, they're going to be talking about how Tom Brady did not look like the GOAT in his loss to the Chicago Bears. So let's see what they have to say about that.
All right, so not a pretty night, and the frustration is obvious afterwards. And Ryan Clark, I'm coming to you. It certainly appeared, and if you follow Twitter, then you know everyone in America seemed to think so, that Tom Brady didn't know it was fourth down. What did you see?
Brain fart.
Listen, I saw Tom Brady holding up four fingers and everybody else on the field either celebrating or being upset because they had lost. And Tom Brady was like a little dude sitting in the middle of the field that couldn't find his parents. And that's not a look
Nice.
we're used to seeing in the big moments for Tom Brady. But he clearly made the wrong throws. He clearly approached the last two downs in a way that wouldn't say, you know what, I know that we need 5 yards for a first down. I know that I get these 5 yards. I get an opportunity to spike it. And that's inexcusable for Tom Brady. If this were any other quarterback, if it was Dwayne Haskins, we already know he would have been benched. If this was Jameis Winston, we would be crushing him for not being prepared, for not paying attention. But because it's Tom Brady, we're going to just say it's a lapse. We're going to say or take his word for it that he went for a chunk instead of going for 5 yards, but not because he didn't know what play it was, but because he made the wrong decision. But I don't believe that. I believe Tom Brady didn't keep up with the plays. He didn't know what down it was, and he made a mistake because he is human. But in being human, that's not why they brought him there. They brought him to be superhuman. They brought him to be the GOAT. And if he's going to make mistakes like this in the biggest moments of the game, already on a team that had 12 penalties, that played themselves out of field goal position more than one time in this game, then they can't win. And so we're talking about this team ascending, but last night they did not look like it. They didn't look like a playoff contender, and he certainly didn't look like the GOAT.
Rob Niggins.
Well, there's a reason why Tom Brady gets a pass for some basically stupid mistakes that he made. It's because he's been to 9 Super Bowls and he won 6 Super Bowls. Has Dwayne Haskins, has anybody else won Super Bowls like that? No. So you know it's in Tom Brady to make the correct calls, so he's going to get a pass for this. But overall, I think this is just a brain fart on Tom Brady. He just dropped the ball. He screwed up. I mean, it is what it is. He didn't know what down it was, and like I said, it's just a brain fart. Now, as far as him coming up on the cliff and, you know, he's not as good anymore, I think this is more of just a brain fart. It wasn't anything with him being physical, like he can't make the throws or he can't run or things of that nature. This was just a brain fart. He forgot what down it was, and he just messed up. That's all it is. He just messed up. Now, is he trash now? No. He just messed up, made a brain fart, and they paid for it. They lost. So, I don't know. Let's continue.
But you played with Brady. Obviously, a mental mistake like that is a rarity for him. What did you see?
Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, he's human. He's human. He made a mistake, and I don't believe the fact that he didn't know or he lost count or they didn't know. Bruce Arians said he knew. Look, he made a mistake. He lost count of the plays, and he's human. He's human. Guess what? He's human, guys. So, yeah, I mean, he's got 6 Super Bowl rings. He is the GOAT. And if you make a mistake like that, yeah, you're not going to be as punished or beat up as most quarterbacks would be because they have 0 Super Bowls and 0 playoff wins. I mean, the guy's played in 40
Exactly.
playoff games. Let's be serious here. He's got more playoff experience than most franchises do combined. So anyway, yeah, he made a mistake. He's human. They look terrible. A lot of mistakes, a lot of penalties. It's Thursday Night Football. Welcome to Thursday Night Football, people. It's always like this. Every single Thursday it looks sloppy and terrible. So they lost to the Bears. The Bears put good pressure on Tom. The offensive line didn't play well, and their team played poorly. So they took the L. And next week they're going to play the Packers. So they might be 3-3, and everyone's going to go crazy.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and let's not forget that this would be week 4 or the 4th game for preseason games. This would have been something Tom Brady would have had a chance to iron out and not make these type of mistakes because it would have been in preseason. So this is really the 4th preseason game that he's in. The season hasn't even really started for him. I know that's kind of being, splitting hairs and kind of making excuses, but it is what it is. And again, I'm not letting Tom Brady off the hook here because he completely messed up. He wasn't paying attention. He wasn't acting like the GOAT. But again, I don't know if I wouldn't call him trash at this point in time. I wouldn't say he's fallen off. He just made a mistake, and it is what it is. And next week against Green Bay, that's going to be another good game. That's going to be a very good game. I might have to say Green Bay is going to take that. Maybe.
There. Let's deal with this one, because Ninkovich was making that point repeatedly this morning in our conversation, that these Thursday night games, sometimes you get that, and it did. It looked sloppy from Tampa, top to bottom.
I mean, listen, I understand he gets the benefit of the doubt because he's the GOAT, but, I just joined the 40 club, so maybe his mental clarity, this is nap time for Tom Brady. It's time for him to be sleeping. I understand that Ninkovich was a teammate, and he's going to give his teammate the benefit of the doubt, but when you say chunk play, then that's an indication to me that you thought it was third down, because you go on fourth down, you make sure that you ensure the opportunity to continue the drive. This team was beat up at the line of scrimmage, and listen, when I watch the Patriots on Thursday night, I never see those mental mistakes. What happens is, he's going to a different environment, and the point of emphasis isn't the same. He's not accustomed to being around this type of lack of professionalism. When I say lack of professionalism, what the Patriots and where he's been at before has never been about beating yourselves. It's all about allowing the other team to beat themselves. You look at the penalties, the lack of focus, the losing your cool. This is a reflection of Bruce Arians. So Bruce Arians is right. He didn't have his team ready to play, and he needs to focus on the little things, because the little things are how you go from good to great.
I'm looking.
So I got a little shout out to Khalil Mack. That man absolutely balled. He's one of the best linebackers in the league. I think what is he, like a top 5 ranked best player in the NFL? I can't remember what they ranked him, but he's definitely up there. And what he got, like 3 sacks last night, I think. I mean, that's absolutely out of control. That means that man is everywhere and he's working hard.
RC, you got your hand in the air. Is that a celebration, or do you have a comment?
No, I have a comment. Did you see what we just did? Now, this is Bart Scott, right? Bart Scott, one of the more honest players and post-career players that we've ever seen. Obviously, it's Rob Ninkovich, and Ninkovich isn't going to say anything bad about Brady. They're not going to be able to go to Nantucket or wherever they go and sit on boats and drink wine and eat quinoa or whatever it is on TV 12. They actually sent me some stuff. I appreciate it. And Bart saying, oh, this is Bruce Arians, and Nico, oh, he's human, but it's Thursday night. No, Tom Brady made a mistake. And when Bart started to talk kind of about the umbrella that is the New England Patriots, I thought he was going to say this is a team that communicated greatly, that Josh McDaniels would have been in his ear and said, okay, fourth down time, this is where we go for, this is where we get the first down, and then we're going to spike it, and then we're going to move to the next play, because that's what great organizations do. But what we saw this time was that Tom Brady, if the organization isn't good, if it is Thursday night and everybody else isn't prepared, then we're either saying that Tom Brady isn't the person that we think he is, or just everybody else is messed up and Tom Brady gets to get a pass for this. But I don't believe any of those things.
Nah, it was just a brain fart. I think everybody's looking too deep into this. Like I said, it's a brain fart. He didn't know what down it was because he wasn't paying attention. He probably has a full plate. Well, we know he has a full plate. But I'm not ready to be talking about Tom Brady like he's completely fallen off at this point in time.
Believe that Tom Brady was brought over to bridge that gap. To bridge that gap if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers aren't communicating. To understand that on Thursday night, if all of these young players don't have it together, he is going to have it together. So this is on Tom Brady. I'm not going to let him slide. I'm not going to let him get through. I'm going to crush him like I would crush any other quarterback who didn't win a Super Bowl. Because on Thursday night, it wasn't Super Bowl winning, six-time Super Bowl winning Tom Brady's Hall of Fame induction. It was his Thursday night game.